back to IntelliSkills. In this video, we are going to study the chapter Computer Vision. And after seeing this video, your whole chapter will be crystal clear. This is going to be the explanation part, and we are going to have a next part for this chapter in a next video, where we're going to discuss the question answers, very important ones, which will make you ready for your board exams. So after seeing this video, you may go and visit the question answer video. Your whole chapter will be clear after seeing these two videos. Okay, so without any further delay, let us begin. So the first topic that we're going to cover is the basics of image. So what is an image? So when a camera, it captures light, it converts it into a picture that we click photos and all pictures. So that when it gets converted to a digital form, which can be stored in a computer and processed by a computer, that is called an image. That digital form of a picture, that is called an image. Okay, so what we know is an image is made up of tiny points or tiny boxes, in fact, which are called pixels. So now each small box, that is called pixel, and each pixel has a numerical value, and that numerical value is the color of that pixel or the intensity or the brightness of that pixel. Okay, we are going to get into more detail into pixels, but I hope you understood what is image. It is basically a digital form of a picture which is made up of tiny pixels. Okay, tiny boxes which are called pixels. Now if you have an image and you zoom into it, okay, you can see the image becomes blurry and it becomes blocky. Okay, like you can see some colored squares. So when you zoom in, each square which you see, these is 1 pixel. So each square 1 pixel. So there are a certain number of pixels in an image. So the height of the pixels in the image and the width of the pixels in the image, when you multiply them, you get the resolution of the image. Okay, so height in pixels multiplied by width in pixels, that is your resolution. So when you say HD resolution, what you mean is 1920 into 1080 pixels. That means that is the resolution. That number of pixels is present in that image. What happens if you multiply 1920 into 1080? I myself have to calculate. You get 20,73,600 pixels. Okay, that number of pixels is present in an HD image. Okay, so tell me one thing, more number of pixels in an image, more smooth the image will be. So when you see an image, if it has less number of pixels, it will seem too blocky and too blurry. So more the resolution of the image, more smooth will be the image, right? Hope you got it. What is the size of 1 pixel? The size of 1 pixel is 1 byte. Okay, and 1 byte means 8 bits. So basically the size of an image, the size of a pixel, that is 8 bits. So what are the total number of possible values for that pixel? It will be 2 raised to the power 8. 2 to the power 8, that is 256 values. That is why we have pixel values from 0 to 255, which in total gives 256 values. Now this was the numerical value that I was talking about in the beginning. Each pixel has a numerical value which is from 0 to 255. This numerical value is going to tell you the intensity, which is the brightness of the image, more bright, less bright, like that, or the color of the image, red, blue, green, which you are going to study next. Okay, hope you understood the pixel values from 0 to 255 it can happen. Now we come to two types of images, which is grayscale images and RGB images. So what is a grayscale image? A grayscale image is that kind of image you've already seen. It is a black and white image which only has shades of gray from black to white, and it does not have any color. Computer does not recognize this grayscale image in form of color. It recognizes it in the form of how much light is falling on that point or that pixel. Okay, how much light is falling. Like black means no light, it is total darkness. White means full light, brightest, and gray means the in between shades. So here what are the values? If a pixel has value 0, then it is black. If it is 255, then it is white, and the values from 1 to 254, that are shades of gray. Grayscale images, what happens with them is they have only one channel. Okay, one channel means what do you mean by channel? Channel means any sort of information. Okay, so they have only one information, which is brightness. It does not store color, right? It only stores the brightness. So it has one channel, and that means each pixel, it has only one value. We have already seen from any value from 0 to 255 it can have. So as it has only one value, it will be just one channel. Okay. Now if you imagine a matrix which is a 3 into 3 grayscale image, suppose here in row 1 we have 0, 128 and 255, row 2 60, 180, 200, row 3 100, 50, 220. Okay, so these are all pixel values. So these are the rows, these are the columns. So this is a 2D matrix, right? Rows into columns, and each of this pixel is the brightness value. That means 0 will have black, 128 is in shade of gray, 255 is white. So each pixel has this one value. Okay, so how many total pixels are there? That will be the resolution of the image. This here the resolution is, there is 3 pixel here, 3 pixels for the rows, 3 pixels for the columns. So 3 into 3, it is 9 pixels in total in this image. Just now we come to a second type of image, which is RGB images. And this one is interesting. An RGB image, this is a colored image, not a grayscale image. Here we store the color. Okay, now how the colors are made? We all know there are 3 primary colors of light, which is red, blue and green, RGB. Okay, that is why this image is called RGB image, because red, blue and green, these are the 3 color channels present, 3 values. Okay, and each pixel will have these 3 values, and using these 3 colors we can create any color. We already know this. By mixing this we can create any color. By mixing green and blue we create yellow, blue and red, I guess we make magenta. So like this we can create different colors using this RGB only. Our pixel in the grayscale image, it used to contain only one value, which is from 0 to 255, but here each pixel will have 3 values, R, G and B. That means we can mix these red, green and blue in any proportion to create a new color for that particular pixel. Got it? And here also the values of R, G and B, they will be within the range from 0 to 255. 0 means there will be no light for that particular color, and 255 means there will be full brightness for that color. For example, how can we combine it? R is 0, G is 0, B is 0, then it will be total black color we will get. If R is 255, G is 255, B is 255, that means we are mixing all these colors in their full intensity, so we will get white. Then if we have R 255, G 0, only red has the full light, so red, the resulting color will be red, red 0, green 255, blue 255, we will get a cyan color, which is green plus blue. If we mix red into 55, G 0 and B 0 to 55, we get magenta. A pixel, it has values 100, 150 and 200. That means red is medium here, and green is medium high green, and blue is high blue. So the color will appear bluish gray. Okay. Now RGB image, that is called a 3-channel image. Remember in grayscale image we had called it 1-channel image. Why? Because there was only one information, that is the intensity of the image or the brightness of the image. It had only one pixel value, which is from 0 to 255, any number between that. But here it is called a 3-channel image because one pixel can have 3 values, which is a value for R, value for G, value for B. That is why it is called a 3-channel image. It has 3 layers, 3 values for a pixel. both the grayscale image and the RGB image, they all are 3D matrix only. They all should be 3D matrix only, but grayscale is called 2D. There is a reason why. So how do we find the matrix? That is basically there are 3 dimensions. Okay, the pixel, the height in pixels, the width in pixels, and the channel. Okay, so height into width into channel. So grayscale, it has channel 1, because a pixel in grayscale image, it can store only any one value from 0 to 255, right? So it has channel 1, so it should be technically height into width into 1, but anything we multiply by 1, that is the result itself. So height into width into 1 is height into width, so we don't consider that into 1. Okay, we skip that. So height into width, so that is why it is called a 2D matrix. But here for RGB image, a pixel can have 3 values, right? So it is a 3 channel image, so the channels are 3. So here height into width into 3, so we have to consider into 3. That is why it is called a 3D matrix. There are 3 dimensions. Now we come to convolution. It is a filter over an image, which is a mathematical operation actually, and it is used to look at the small parts of the image to detect patterns like the edges, the corners, the textures, the shapes. So when you're doing facial recognition, okay, in computer vision we have facial recognition. So at that time, to recognize the face of someone, we have to study their eyes, their nose, the distance between their eyes, the edges in their face, negligible jawline, anyways, the eyebrows and everything. So to study that, we need convolution. It acts as a filter over an image, and we can detect the edges, the curves, the corners, the eyes, the corners of the eyes, the lips, the everything. Okay, so this is convolution. Okay, so it is like a filter. The next part of the chapter is computer vision. We all know about the 3 domains of AI. We have 3 domains in AI: statistics, which deals with data; NLP, natural language processing, which deals with your detecting human language, studying it, understanding it. Computer vision is the another domain in AI, which helps the AI model or computer to understand images, to understand visual data, images, then your videos, all of these things, graphics. Okay, so this is computer vision. It gives a computer the eyes to see the image, to understand the image, to detect patterns in the image, to extract features from the image. That is the job of computer vision. Now there is a common confusion between computer vision and image processing, because both of them deal with visual data like images and videos. But computer vision, what is the focus of computer vision? To understand the image, to interpret the image, to extract features from the image. Okay, and what is the focus of image processing? To improve the image, to modify the image. Okay, so that is the basic difference between them. Then to focus on the low level features like pixels, edges, colors. And for computer vision, it is used to extract meaningful information and make an image understandable to the machine, and focus on high level features like objects, faces, actions. So for example, if you have a bloody photo of a dog, so what will computer vision do? It will detect that there is an animal, it will recognize that this is a dog, it will identify the breed, like it is Labrador, it will find where it is in the image, like top left corner here and there. Okay, so this was computer vision. It knows that I'm working with a dog's image, a Labrador's image. For image processing, it will remove noise from the image. Removing noise means to smoothen the image. It will make the image smooth. It will sharpen the edges of the image. It will adjust the brightness and the contrast and the exposure and all of that jazz which we do while editing photos. We apply filters, we increase the brightness and all that. Only image processing does too. It will crop the image, resize the image. It does all of it. But it does not know that I'm working with the image of a dog. It has just received the image and it will modify the image, but it does not know it is dog. Computer vision knows that it is a dog. So this is basically the whole deal about this. So computer vision has certain tasks. If you give computer one image which has a single object, then it can do two tasks: classification, and another is classification plus localization. And if you give it an image which has multiple objects, then it has two tasks again. First is object detection, then is instance segmentation. Got it? This is very easy. The most important part of the chapter we have already done at the beginning, so that at the last you can enjoy by seeing this, because here everything is easy. So for classification, suppose you give the application, computer vision application, an image of a cat. It sees the input that you have given. It determines the class or the category that object falls into. That object which I have given, that is a cat. So that category or the class of that object will be cat. So it determines the class or the category of the input image that I have provided. If I give it an image of a dog, it can detect that it is a dog. If I give it an image of a tree, it can detect that the category of this image is a tree. Okay, so this is classification. Got it? And these are already predefined categories. Okay, it's not like it is discovering categories on its own. Machine will not know anything. If you don't feed the machine something, it will not know anything. Whatever you feed to the machine, it knows that only. So these are all predefined categories. Maybe while giving training to the image, you have given it a certain labeled sample images, and from there it has learned the labels that this is a tree, this is a dog, this is a car, this is that, this is a notebook, this is a phone. So it has learned those labels from there, and these labels only it can identify. When it gets a new image of that sort, it can identify this is a cat or this is a dog using the predefined labels. Okay. Now the next one is classification and localization. Classification, you already know that it determines the class or category of the image. What is it? Localization means where is that object in the image located. Suppose you have an image of a dog sitting on a sofa. So that computer vision application, it will tell you that this is a dog which is sitting at the left corner here on the sofa. So it tells you the location as well. So this is classification is already happening, which is it recognizes it is a dog, and it also locates the dog in the image that it is sitting on the sofa in this corner. Okay, this left corner. Next is object detection. When you give a single image to the application where there are many objects, that is when object detection happens. So it detects. So if you give it an image of a road which has trees and traffic signal, a person in between, so it can identify the objects. It can detect the objects. This is a traffic light, this is a road, this is a tree, this is a tree, this is a tree, this is the car behind. So it can identify like this. So it predicts the class of the object or the category of the object, and it draws a box around the object. Okay, it does box position. It is used in self-driving cars to detect cars which are coming, or pedestrians, or traffic signs. Okay, it is also used in surveillance systems to detect people or any abandoned objects. Okay, it is also used in retail, which is those retail stores, to detect products kept on shelves. Okay, so this is how object detection is used. So next we have instance segmentation. Here also we give an image to the computer which has multiple objects, and we classify each pixel. So pixels belonging to the sky will be labeled as sky. Pixels belonging to a dog will be labeled as dog. If there are 3 dogs, pixels belonging to first dog, dog 1. Pixels belonging to dog, next dog 2. Next is dog 3. So it basically separates the pixels. Like, it tells us which pixels belong to that particular object. Okay. So if you have the 3 dogs image, so around the 3 dogs you will have boxes drawn in case of object detection. but in case of instance segmentation, it will outline the exact body of the dog, like the exact shape of the body of the dog, even if they overlap each other. Okay, this is called instance segmentation. So if you have dog 1, dog 2, dog 3, they are of the same class, which is dog, but in instance segmentation we give them different labels. Okay, a unique label, dog 1, dog 2, dog 3. So now we are going to see applications of computer vision. First, there is facial recognition. Facial recognition, that means you can computer vision is identifying the person or verifying the person's identity by analyzing their face. So it extracts all the features from their face. So after feature extraction, after it has extracted all the features from that person's face, it will compare it to the original picture of the person who is being scanned, and if the features match, let them go. If the features don't match, I've never seen them before, let's remove them. Next, it is face filters. Face filters, we all know Instagram filters, Snapchat filters, TikTok filters. Okay, so it uses computer vision to detect your facial landmarks, like where are your eyes, where is your nose, where is your lips, and then they overlay the filters on you. Suppose you have a sunglass filter, and wherever your face moves, computer vision detects your movement and it moves the filters or the sunglasses with you, without you. Okay, like that. Then it is also used in retail stores, like to detect the products using object detection and all, object detection, instance segmentation. It used to detect the products, detect the items, and analyze customers using facial recognition, automatically billing. So all of this is used in retail stores. Then we have self-driving cars. When the car is self-driving itself, okay, so computer vision acts as the eyes of the car. It can detect the cars in front. It can detect if any pedestrian is walking by, if any a lane is there. So using object detection and segmentation, this can be achieved. Traffic signals also it can detect. Oh, I want to tell you one last thing. This is very interesting. Difference between vector graphics and raster graphics. This word you will find somewhere in your chapter in the images part, but it is not told in your book in detail. So let us learn this. Okay, this is interesting. So vector graphics and raster graphics. Raster graphics is basically a graphic or an image which is made up of pixels. Okay, so anything which we shoot in camera, photograph taken in camera, so that will be your raster graphics. Okay, it is made up of pixels, and when you zoom the image, the quality decreases, and they usually have larger file sizes, and it is useful for detailed images. It is not that smooth when you zoom it. Okay, when you zoom it, the quality decreases, it becomes blocky, because obviously if something is made up of squares, you cannot expect them to be a circle. Then there is vector graphics. Vector graphic is not made up of pixels, it is made up of paths, which is created using mathematical formulas. Like when you have to create edges, edges, circles, rectangles, you want the circle to be smooth. When you want to create lines or curves or edges, those kind of things, you can create this using mathematical formulas, and that is called vector graphics. Okay, if you zoom it, it will not appear blocky because it is not made up of pixels, so it will not lose quality. Okay, a circle will be a perfect circle. They are best suited when you're making logos or illustrations or icons. Okay. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was everything for the explanation of computer vision, and I'll see you in the next video with question answers probably. So till then, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep exploring. Thank you and bye-bye.